Well, hi everybody. Welcome to our next New Earth Teachings event with Ascended Master Lakeshma. So those of you watching or listening to this, you would most likely know about Lakeshma. Those of you who follow the Beings of Delight work, she's an Ascended Master from Atlantis. So she was there in the time of the first Great Awakening for humankind. And there's a lot of parallels with what is occurring now in our current Great Awakening shift. So we have some lovely Patreon members joining us. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go into trance and bring forth Lakeshma for you.
Hello, friends. It is Lakeshma coming through. It is my honor to come through again in this way. It is an honor to come through and share the gifts of your being with you, to share with you the gifts of your reality with you. You as a collective are blossoming more into your potential of who you are as source manifest beings, as star beings manifested. You in this time of great awakening are starting to remember more of who you truly are. You are starting to remember your place amongst the stars. You may see this as somewhat far off in your reality, but understand that everything that is occurring now in your society, in your world, is moving you to a point of vibration as a collective, where you'll be open to receive more, we would say, activations in relations to your expansion, activations in relations to your journey to oneness remembrance, and your journey in activating more of your abilities within you. For you are truly multidimensional. You are multidimensional in many different ways. You are multidimensional in terms of human existence. You are living here in many lives at once in relations to the form of who you are living in, the form of your existence right now in this reality. And you're also experiencing many lives in relations to many other forms you are vibrating in many other beings and worlds and universes. You are truly multidimensional. And who you are existing in right here today is existing in many different vibrational dimensions. And this is how you create your reality. And this is how you tap into more enlightened states of your being, through into the remembrance state in your conscious awareness. Because, dear ones, you are already enlightened. You are already aligned to the truth of your being. Those versions of you, those dimensions of you where you are already bringing through these divine and galactic abilities in your terminology, these psychic abilities, these these representations of you where you already know more of who you are, where you already know that you are one, where you already believe that you are worthy. Those versions of you already exist. And as you do this work, as you raise your perception of who you are, as you embrace those dimensions of you, which is embracing your emotional states that you feel and experience, you then unite more of those dimensions within you, and then you start to attract those dimensions of you that already exist into your current reality. So it's not about gaining enlightenment, gaining the wisdom. It's not about all of a sudden you are raising your frequency to such a point that you are growing into something more advanced, something more powerful. You are already this powerful being, and those versions of you already exist. It's just a matter of your point of, we would say, vibration, your point of dimensional focus in this reality, in this time continuum, in the present moment. This is where you move through dimensions. It is your focus in the present moment where you can then attract those dimensions to you, through you, express outwardly through you, where you then start to vibrate and your reality starts to vibrate in a dimension that reflects the powerful love being that you are. But to get to that existence, to experience the new earth in your reality, is to know the new earth is already here. The golden age of consciousness is a paradigm the collective has already entered. And this is why there has been so many shifts. That's why you look in your society and you have seen what you think might be upheavals in your society. Know that every shift is allowing you as a collective to let go of certain programming, to let go of the density imprints, energy codes that the collective has attached to. And by doing that as a collective, you then vibrate in lighter energies. You then activate, we would say, portals in your terminology of your linear thinking, so to speak. And let's just say you then begin to vibrate in a higher plane of existence, so to speak. But these higher planes of existence are already there. The new earth has always been there. And there were also dimensions that you deem as unwanted that are also always there, because you as a collective exist and attached to a paradigm of duality. And because you are attached to the programs of duality, you actively explore your reality through these dimensions that have the color of fear or love. But understand that all dimensions are aspects of you. Even though some are illusionary, they are still part of your existence. So instead of ignoring the dimensions that you deem as unwanted, it is about embracing them and uniting them within you. So even though they are illusions, because who you truly are is divine love, divine acceptance, it is about embracing those emotions within you. It is about practicing acceptance. It is about exploring them, embracing those aspects of you. And once you can be friends with that version of you, be grateful for that version of you, you unite that aspect within you. And then you start to attract higher versions of yourself into your reality. You unite your multidimensionality into more oneness, because then there is less need for you to explore duality consciousness. There is no need to explore all these dimensions of fear and love. And that's where the collective is journeying through. As you unite more of these dimensions, there will be less need for the collective to explore such duality paradigms. And as you unite all these dimensions within you, you unite all the dimensions of the collective consciousness. And that's when you start to remember more of your oneness state.
This is an advanced game that you're playing, a game out of love. Once you can recognize that this is a highly advanced game and it's a game for you to assist you in remembering who you truly are, you let go of the resistance and how the game is being played here. It is a game that you co-created with all your brothers and sisters. This is how powerful you are. And it is now in this time of the greatest great awakening where you are starting to remember this, not just conceptualize these teachings and these understandings. You are actually starting to remember this. You are starting to have the knowing within you of your power, even though you may not see the full picture. This knowing is an ability you all have. You don't know why the things are the way they are. You don't know how you know what you know. It is a knowing. This is you in your multidimensionality. This is the truth of who you are permeating into the dimension that you're residing in the now. It is the awareness of who you are from your source self coming through into your present reality, into your conscious awareness. This is the merge of oneness. This is oneness permeating into your conscious awareness. This is oneness is. When you receive a knowing, when you just know, this is oneness in action. It is all your multidimensional lives guiding you. We are multidimensional aspects of you because we are one. So once you can tap into this stream of intelligence that is always within you, you are tapping into oneness, my dear ones. And because it is a time of great awakening, because you've entered into this paradigm where there's many shifts, where you are uniting more aspects of oneness, you are starting to, we would say, see behind more of the veil of physical reality. This is why there is so many of you asking questions. This is why so many of you have many questions about your reality, about your society, about who you are. This is why so many of you are experiencing physical and emotional shifts, because you are changing in every single way. You are shifting in every single way. And it is a shift that is required for you to remember more of the love state that you are, dear ones. There's never been such a time in human history where the shifts that are occurring have such a pivotal place for the collective consciousness. It is the most exciting time to be alive, the most expansive time to be alive. And you are never alone in this journey, for you are truly connected to oneness. And it's now when you are remembering it for yourself. Are you embracing the game with openness, with curiosity, with love? Or are you seeing this game from a point of fear, from a point of resistance, from a point of constriction? Or are you seeing oneness in your journey from a point of freedom? The choice is yours. But understand every dimension you exist in is a necessary shift for you. It doesn't have to be permanent, but it is a dimensional experience to assist you to gain insights into more of who you are. It is just one step at a time, one dimension at a time that you explore in your conscious awareness in the present now. You are truly powerful beings. And you're remembering this now for yourself. Dear ones, do you have any questions today?
Hey, Lakeshma.
Hello, my dear one.
Hi. I wanted to talk a little bit about the knowings. So you helped me in the past about understanding the knowings are sent by me for me, but not to be attached to the outcome of the knowings, right? And I'm noticing that I'm getting a lot more knowings more frequently, even without asking or inquiring. And it's fine. It's all natural, but at the same time, I also feel like just because I have a knowing, anything can change because that's energy. So I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about being tapped into that oneness and these knowings.
Dear one, these knowing is an ability that you all have. And as you start to let go of the resistance, as you start to become more sensitized to your oneness state, you'll be able to tap into this knowing. Some of you experience guidance as an external form of communication. Perhaps you see your spirit guides and communicate with your spirit guides. You communicate with your, what you call as your inner or your higher self. And you may perceive these as external to you, as separate to you. The knowing is the oneness emergence. The oneness is you knowing that all these guides, all these assistance to you is coming from within you. It may not have a label to you. It may not be coming from a certain guide of yours. It is information, it is wisdom, intelligence that's coming from within you because you have embraced more of your oneness state. There is no need for labels. There is no need for it to then come from an external force, an external being, because all this information, all the beings, we are you. You are one with all that is. So the knowing is that integration, that consolidation of your oneness state. It's about trusting those messages, trusting the feeling. As you become more sensitive, you will start to trust more of this knowing. It might come as a feeling. As you practice trusting this knowing, it might just be a thought. Usually, as you strengthen this knowing, it's a knowing that cannot be contradicted. It is a knowing that becomes so solid that you do not doubt it. But it comes with practice. If you keep trusting yourself, it's about trusting your ability to tap into the oneness of all there is. It's about being able to drop the label of where that information comes from, knowing that it's all part of oneness, that it's all coming from within you, my dear one. This is how oneness works in your reality. It is about tapping into this infinite intelligence within you, and it's about trusting it one step at a time, because this knowing might come through in your own words and in your own thoughts. You might perceive it as your own imagination. But once you become more sensitized to these communications, you will know that it's coming from the divine within you. It is coming from the infinite intelligence of all that is. So it's about trusting yourself, taking action when this knowing comes to you. And yes, by taking action might ask you to be courageous in your action steps. But as you trust the guidance, trust the information, you unlock more of this gateway within you. You then, we would say, open this portal. You then basically declare to the universe, you declare to yourself that you remember your oneness state. So because of this, the universe gives you more communication with yourself. It gives you more, we would say, activities and tools and steps for you to connect even further to your oneness state. So when you trust the guidance within you, when you trust the knowing, you are declaring that you are ready for the next step, and the next step will be presented to you because you're declaring ultimately to yourself that you are ready and that you are now truly embracing more of your oneness state.
Thank you.
dear one. And this is the work here. It is the work of trusting who you truly are, my dear one. Do you trust your guidance, dear one?
I do. I try to be very loosey-goosey with my knowings and not get tied to the outcome. But my knowings seem to, I don't want to say that they're accurate, but they seem to be very valid. And I just, you know, I'm still always just like, okay, well, that was just a potentiality that came into my physical reality. That was just a probability that I got a knowing about, but I know it could have changed in any moment of time because it's very fluid. But it's interesting at the same time that the knowings are so strong and that they seem very solid in the knowings. And then there's inspiration knowings that I've been following. Like they were like, okay, it's time to work on the tarot cards again. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, and we're going to do a big push. And I'm like, okay. And so I just followed on that, that inspiration. And yeah, so I do, even though intellectually I know it's me, I do still feel like it's collaborating with the non-physical and aspects of myself. And, but that's okay. You know, it makes me feel like I'm part of a team.
And that is the process of duality consciousness as you move to oneness remembrance. It is about tapping into this guidance, even though this guidance may be perceived to be coming from external beings. Just like my essence as Lakeshma, I'm coming forth as a perceived separate being to you, because the way you can more understand these teachings is to understand them in our duality concept as coming from external beings. But it is a journey. It is a step in you being able to see this information and embrace this information and not just conceptualize it, but remember this information for yourself. It is one thing to hear such teachings. It is another thing to remember them within you. And as you trust the inner guidance, as you start to explore these concepts that we discuss, you will then activate that within you, the knowing within you, that dimension of you that already knows. And this is the process. And as you start to do that, there will be less and less need for us to come in an external way, in a perceived external way. It is a process. And this is why we come through, even though we're coming through in a perceived external way, we are also reminding you of your oneness state, because it is a transition here. So understand, no matter where you are in your journey, whether you are attached to this information coming forth from an external being, from an external team, or whether you know it's coming from within you, from the one source, it would say, it all depends on your step in the journey, but also understand that your journey is also aligned to the collective conscious journey, the paradigm of the collective consciousness, because you are all connected. And as a collective, you move through paradigms together. And you as a collective are still attached to this duality consciousness. So as long as the collective is attached to duality consciousness, you will still perceive external beings. You will still see an external reality and separateness and fear and love in your reality. Yes, it'll become, we would say, less polarized. It'll become less contrasting, so to speak, but it is a step-by-step process. And it is a process that you in the forefront here in this awareness, you being the light workers and the way showers here, by you practicing and taking this work in action, You then also assist in the shifts for the collective consciousness. You are actually assisting the whole collective consciousness to move into, vibrate in another paradigm where there is more oneness remembrance. We would say you have had we would say the intentions, the soul contracts to do this work, we would say, in your perception of linear time ahead of others. So you can, we would say, be in a state of vibration where you can then go out and assist others that are external in your perception, but they are also aspects of you. Everyone in your reality is a reflection of you, is a reflection of the one. If you turn your back from someone, you are turning your back from yourself. But always listen to the guidance. If you have a calling to assist certain people in a certain way, then it's up to you if you choose to help those aspects of you, because all people are you. And this is another way of how you move more into love remembrance, to oneness remembrance. It is about seeing all beings in your reality as you, even the ones that you may see that are very fear-based. It is about seeing everyone in your reality, even those that you perceived wrong or that cause you harm. Understand that these are perspectives of you. These are reflections of you, of the one. If you can practice acceptance of these people, you are then uniting more aspects of you. You are then declaring to the universe that you accept another version of you. You accept this part of you. And as you can accept all others, you start to unite more of who you are. This is your multidimensionality, not just in your emotional dimensions, but in multidimensional in the way that you are expressed in physical form. So it is about embracing acceptance with all dimensional experiences that you experience in terms of emotions, because your emotions herald a dimensional shift. And it's also about practicing acceptance for all others in your reality, because all others are you. It is about unconditional love. Unconditional love is who you are. And unconditional love is acceptance. You do not have to understand why people do certain actions, why things are the way they are. You don't have to even agree. It is about loving acceptance, knowing that there is a higher purpose for all, and all is a reflection of you, of the one, to assist you to remember your oneness state. This is how powerful you are. So whenever you feel limited in any way, understand this is a brief dimensional exploration, and this dimensional focus will pass, and you will soon explore in your present reality a dimension where you are more empowered, because that empowered state, that empowered dimension already exists. So understand you are a visitor here, and you are visiting all dimensions. So understand that it is not permanent. If you are in a state, if you're in a dimension that is fear-based, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling disconnected, understand that this is only a brief visit with a dimension, a brief dimension, a brief visit with you that needs love. Can you give yourself love in that moment? If you see a child in front of you crying, would you disregard that child, or would you hug that child? This is your dimensional experience.
Thank you, Lakeshma.
I'd like to jump in.
Yes, D1.
So I want to talk a little bit more about the experience of the duality, because I am currently, I feel like I'm experiencing maybe some extremes of that, of very empowering states. And I feel like I have a lot of clarity that comes through, and I'm realizing more about, you know, how I'm creating my experience. And then maybe a few days will pass, and then I will have an experience where I fell very deep into the victim consciousness, and I feel very powerless. So can you talk more about maybe how to bring more of that into the oneness state, and maybe about the experience of the extreme states. At least that's what it feels like currently for me.
It may feel extreme because of your frequency. As you, in your terminology, raise your frequency in this present dimensional reality, when you experience fear, you experience it more intensely because your natural frequency is at a certain vibrational point in which fear becomes more sensitized to you. So if you feel this contrast, understand that it is because you have done the work, and understand it is because your frequency is very high, and this is why you feel such things intensely and in such a contrasting way. Now understand that all dimensions of experience are for you. If you experience an empowered dimension, it is a reminder of who you truly are. And because you are exploring all these dimensions, when you experience a dimension of victim mentality, understand that this is also for you. It is a cry for help for yourself. It is about then opening your arms to yourself. It is about embracing that child that is within you. It is about embracing that child that is standing in front of you when you look in the mirror. And when we say child, we mean child of the universe, my dear ones. You are not a child. You are very advanced, ancient beings in your multidimensionality. But it is about recognizing that there is a part of you that's in need of love, just like that child. When you experience this victim mentality, when you feel disempowered, can you open your arms to yourself? Can you give yourself the love that it requires to blossom? You have been conditioned that love is transactional, that love is conditional. These are programs in your reality that have catalyzed you to explore your life uniquely as a human being. But understand you do not have to suffer from this exploration. So if you do experience victim mentality and you feel that emotion, a dimension of victim mentality, recognize it as a gift. It is it's not a measure of any failure on your part. It is a perfect exploration, just like the love explorations. They are both equally valid and equally important to your expansion. It's about how you interact with these dimensions. Do you push it away? Do you push the child away? Or can you embrace it? Can you sit with that child? Can you surrender and go inwards? Can you ask yourself, what is it within you that you are not accepting? What is it within you that you are not loving? There is something within you that you have disregarded. There is a wall within you that you have kept rigid. It is time to knock those walls down, my dear one, and surrender to the love of your being. This is what resistance is. It is you building walls to the love of who you are. It is a temporary block in you experiencing your empowered state. And yes, walls have served you for a purpose. It has served you to a point where you can explore certain dimensions, to allow you to adopt certain belief systems, to allow you to explore correlating dimensional realities that are aligned to your soul contracts here. But understand you're here for a reason. Understand that you are now in the point of remembering more of who you are. So you can now trust that you are truly cared for, that you are truly loved. So you can now have faith that if you can knock down those walls and surrender to the love of who you are, you'll be able to then fully embrace the love of the universe, the love of who you are. But to break down those walls, to surrender, is to accept that there is a wall there. It is in knowing that that wall was placed perfectly for you as an obstacle course in this game. It's about practicing acceptance of you and all others in your reality. It's about seeing them as reflections of you. If you can accept all actions and all emotions,
you naturally break down that wall of resistance. And it's then when you unite more into your oneness state. It is a game here. Once you can love that dimension, practice, you might not be able to get to a point when you are exhilarated and drunk with love, so to speak, but you can be a point of acceptance. And once you can understand it is for you, you can increase that love, turn up the notch, so to speak. You can be grateful. You can count the blessings, count the gifts that are within it. And as you start to see things more from an expanded perspective, you then start to remember, you then start to tap into the knowing that is happening for you out of love. It is about reminding yourself when you are in those dimensions of fear and victim mentality, it is reminding yourself that this is just a dimensional exploration. It has no measure of who you are as a person, has no measure of your power. It is just a visitor. It is a dimensional visitor here to assist you to uncover your gifts, because it is in exploring your gifts. It is in the knocking of the wall where you see that on the other side of the wall is your superpower, is your gift. But it asks you to be courageous to knock down that wall to see the gifts there. Are you ready, my dear one? Are you ready to remember your power? Are you ready to remember your superpowers? Because they lay there within you. It's about knowing that you are worthy of the power, of the love. And letting go of that resistance. Let go of how society may judge you and judge actions, because all others are you. It's about understanding that you are truly one with all that is, and that you are love, that you are complete and perfect, that you are love manifested. And that all this guidance is within you if you are willing to go inwards and surrender to it. But you must believe that you are worthy of it. Dear one.
Yeah.
It is a human paradigm. Many of you go through these journeys. And that is why the human being is so highly advanced, because you've chosen to experience amnesia. You've chosen to experience dimensions of fear only to allow that contrast, those dimensions to propel and create a ripple effect that expands all that is. You are raising the frequency, so to speak. You are directly affecting the collective consciousness, not just here on Earth, but in all worlds and all universes. It is because of your journey that you willingly took being born here on Gaia. And understand that what you chose to explore here for yourself means that you have all the abilities and tools, technologies available to you within you to assist you in such explorations. And all the clues are there within you. All the guidance is there within you. All these technologies and tools are within you that will allow you to most effectively explore the games that you have chosen for yourself. If you've chosen a theme in your life that is, we would say, intensely based in a fear paradigm, then understand that there is much power to be found there. It is a game of hide and seek, so to speak. And once you can embrace that dimension of you, you will then find the true power of who you are within this dimension. So understand you are truly worthy. You are truly powerful to have such explorations. because you wanted the extra challenge. Dear ones, do you have any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, dear one.
So my question is around romantic love. And I'm wondering, when we meet someone that we feel that there's great potential for love, and we are excited about that, and we practice non-attachment, but there's still fear based on past experiences. Do you have any other advice, like even if we've embraced that fear, or I mean, even any relationship, I guess, embracing a connection and allowing ourselves to be completely vulnerable to whatever occurs?
You have been conditioned to put a wall up. Many of you have experienced dimensions of pain. And because of past experiences, you have been conditioned to explore such relationships in a cautious manner, to tentatively put your foot out, to tentatively step in the water, not to dive into the waters. You have been conditioned this way. And understand that this way has kept you in a position of feeling safe and secure. But that feeling of being safe and secure is an illusion, because you've always been safe and secure. Understand that the power is in your vulnerability, and your connection to love is in the vulnerability. If you place the walls up, you are unable to feel the intensity of the love which flows eternally from within you. You then pinch yourself off from the love of the universe, the love of who you are. If you want to experience love more intensely within yourself and experience it intensely with others, it is about surrendering to the love. It is about embracing the connection. If you feel a connection, understand it is a soul connection. Understand that if you feel a connection with someone, whether it's romantic or in another way, understand that they are important players in your expansion, whether they are permanent or not permanent in your reality, in your physical existence. Understand that they are vital for your expansion. And we would say that if you have this connection, it is about exploring this connection openly and wholeheartedly. And we would say with some connections, yes, some connections may perceive to hurt you, may trigger you, but this is how you expand. And this is how you surrender to the power of your being. If you have a connection and they are part of your soul family, and that means that they are lovingly here for you to assist you in exploring an aspect of yourself. And they are here to assist you to explore more pathways into your heart center, for you to remember more of the love state for yourself. They are here to help reflect the love that you are. If you are resistant to romantic love, are you resistant then to your self-love? It is a mirror here to the love that you place upon yourself. If you can open-heartedly embrace romantic connections, you're declaring to the universe that you're ready to explore more of the love state within your being, that you are now ready to love more of your own being, that you are now ready to see and experience the love reflected back to you through another. Because this is what all others do as aspects of you. They reflect the love that you radiate. They reflect the love that you reflect upon yourself. If you can love and accept more of yourself in your reality, you will see that love being reflected to you from another. They become a clear mirror to your vibration. So understand that those connections are there for a reason. It is not by accident that you have certain connections with people. They are your soul families, and you have many soul families with many different purposes. But underlining all of their purposes of all your soul families here. They are here to assist you to remember the love that you are, to remember the power that you are, to help you remember your purpose here. Can you move forward? Can you explore connections in a point of vulnerability?
I think in thinking about that, there's a very paralyzing, almost paralyzing fear of what has happened in the past, which I'm working on embracing. But I'm aware that that's there.
And what is that paralyzing fear telling you? Are you rejecting that dimension of you? Or are you ready to embrace that dimension of you that feels paralyzed in fear? Can you surrender to your love and explore that fully, that version of you? Because it's only then when you can embrace it, when you can put your arms around that version of you, that you can transmute that fear and that paradigm and unite and embrace the love that you are. Do you feel that you are ready to embrace it?
I do, yes.
Understand that it is for you. Understand that the key is within that dimension. It is about exploring it fully. Explore it when you're triggered in the moment and bring it into your heart center. It is about bringing it into your heart center and being vulnerable as you explore it. Ask itself. Make friends with yourself. Make friends with this dimension in which you are paralyzed with fear. Thank it for visiting you. And communicate with this version of you. Ask it, what is it here to show you? What is it here to teach you? What is it within you that you have not let go of? You can communicate with all these dimensions of you. Bring it into your heart space. Bring her into your heart space. You can then envision a projection of her, even though she's in your heart center. See her projected in front of you, if this makes it easier for you. See her looking back at you, smiling. Feel that connection, that stream of energy connecting your heart with her heart. Can you smile at her? See her smile back at you. Can you hug her? Can you look at her and say that you forgive her and that you love her and that you understand that everything that has occurred in her reality was for her highest good? Can you hug her fully and feel her love, the love that is within you, the love that is you, for she is you? Once you can practice this love communication, this vulnerability with this dimensional version of you, she then unites within you. And that separated aspect of her, of you, becomes no more as she becomes one with you in love and acceptance.
Thank you.
But to have awareness of this is a powerful step, my dear one. So the fact you have awareness of it means you're already on the pathway of opening your heart center. And at times it does take courage to face these dimensions of you that you have disregarded, that you have feared of meeting, of reuniting with. It's about knowing that they are you and they just want to hug, my dear one. So go hug her.
Yeah, I feel that. Thank you.
Dear ones, it is a time now where you are asked to unconditionally love yourself and all dimensions of you from your perceived past. Understand that everything that has occurred in your reality has led perfectly to where you are today and is not by accident. If things have not happened in your past, you would not be where you are today, exploring your life purpose, exploring the truth of who you are. Can't you see how everything is needed to happen according to what did happen to allow you to be where you are today? But if you are triggered in the moment, then reconnect with that separated aspect of you. This is how you unite. And remember oneness in your conscious remembrance, dear ones. Do you have any other questions today?
Yes.
Hi, dear one.
Hi. Can you explain or say something about this group? Why we're why these people? Why this group? Why are we spread out through the world like this? Is there a significance to that?
My dear one, this is just but one soul family, and you have many soul families. My dear one, soul families has no restrictions on your physical location. You are the light workers and the way showers. And by you expanding your light, by you allowing your natural light to expand from you, to emanate from you, to be the beacon of light, from a perspective of duality, you being located in different areas of the world means that you then increase that vibration of those around you in your location, because you are all connected with all that is. And as you connect and align to your power within you, once you embrace the beacon of light that you are, you then give permission for others to shine their light more brightly. You give them permission to then surrender more into themselves, to explore more of who they are. The reason you are born in certain locations, the reason why you exist in different locations around the world is related to your soul purpose, because every area of the world, every country is born into a program. You call this cultures, and each culture you are born into has, you would say, certain programs. It allows you to adopt certain belief systems about who you are and your world. Let's just say it's another layer of this game here. We would say, it's a premise of a game here where you get to explore your reality through a certain culture that allows you to have unique explorations, to allow you to have unique perspectives. And because you are the light workers and the way showers, you are able to then assist others in we would say, cultures that are similar to you, because you have the lived experience of such cultures. You are able to explore these programs, and then you are able to teach from that knowing of that physical experience, how these programs assisted you in your life and has transformed you. And then you become the light in many different dimensions in this way. You then start to increase the frequency of those around you in the area of your world. And then you start to teach uniquely and be the light uniquely because of your location. And let's just say it is a network of light workers and way showers here. And it is necessary that you are spread all around the world here, because that is how a network is formed. And let's just say that the network is plugged into certain points of Gaia. For Gaia, she is divine, she is intelligent, and she is an energy force that you are tapped into. So because you are located in different areas of Gaia, you are able to then, we would say, tap into different energy sources within Gaia. So you then increase the network and the potentiality of expansion by you being located in different areas of the world. So this is divine by design. You chose the country of your birth, knowing that you will explore your life through a culture, knowing that you'll be connected to certain aspects of Gaia and her energy frequencies in a certain location where you reside in. Because just like the energy vortexes and chakras of your being, Gaia also has these energy centers, and they are located at certain areas of her being, of what you see as the surface of the physical reality. And that is why there were so many of you spread out all across the world. There is a higher reason for this. And you then able to tap into these energy centers, and you're able then to be the light and increase this light network all around the world, my dear one.
Thank you. Can I then ask about my area? Is there a specific energy center here?
My dear one, understand that the energies flow within every country of this world. And there are certain aspects of Gaia that is aligned to your unique soul contracts. And we would say there is a reason why there were certain areas of your reality where they exhibit certain elements of nature. So understand that no matter where you are in the world, there is unique signatures that assist you in your purpose here. So we would say in where you live specifically, you have had certain conditionings through your culture that has allowed you to perceive your reality in such a way. And to, we would say, transmute these conditionings is to connect to the Gaia energies in your area. So my dear one, there are many different elements of Gaia that can assist you in your area. It's about following your guidance, because we would say everyone is unique in how they connect to the elements. For you all have the elements of air. You all have the elements of earth. And then there are certain elements such as water where there may be more in a vast supply compared to others. So it depends on your specific location, but understand it'll affect you uniquely because you are unique frequency. So it's about listening to the guidance within you, because everyone is unique in this. And there is not just one element that can assist you here. So understand that your part of the world will assist you to break through of the limiting patterns that's aligned to, we would say, the cerebral effects of the human conditioning, the analytical side of the human existence. So it's for you to ground that into the heart center, connect to the air, connect to the water. Even though where you are located, there might be certain elements that are limited. Use the guidance within the elements to guide you along your way, and understand that with all the earth, you would say the energy points of Gaia, they are all connected to create a grid-like energy structure. So no matter where you are in the world, you are connected with all the energy that flows throughout all that is. My dear one.
Thank you.
Dear one. Do you have any other questions, my dear ones? Dear one, it is time to embrace the love that you are. It is time to remember your power. It is time to unite all aspects of you into loving acceptance. It is time for you to hug yourself, to embrace all dimensions of you that are existing. No longer can you ignore aspects of yourself. No longer can you hide from those aspects of you that you have pushed down within you, that you have feared, that you have rejected. It is a time of the Great Awakening where you are now called to meet these dimensions of you, to embrace them and to love them. And this is how you remember more of who you are. It is through love and acceptance where you remember your true power and where you'll be guided every single way. It is with love that we come through here today. Remember that you are love and that you're one of all that is. Until next time, farewell.